Hello and welcome to Joys of Data. My name's Dave. This is data analysis for curious people. In this video, I want to analyze the data of the AVENG group, ticker symbol AEG, to determine what I think about the stock in general and currently for trading and investing. Trading, by that I mean short term. So let's take a look at it. This is a stock that is listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, and it is basically a construction stock. So it's involved in the construction industry in Southern Africa, Mauritius, Mozambique, and it's got a few subsidiaries, one being Grinica LTA. It's involved with some energy, construction, steel, and so on. This is a stock that I'm really unsure of what I think about. First off, let me say that the construction industry in Southern Africa is not looking like the best place you want to put your money. Although Africa is an interesting place because you can make money, but I'm really unsure because of the political situation in Southern Africa, the gangs that are involved with hijacking construction sites, and a number of other volatile events. I am really unsure as to what to think of the construction industry in general and AEG in particular. So let me just take a look at its charts. And what I've done is I've put Murray & Roberts on the same chart, as well as Trellidor, which these are some of its competitors, Stefanodian Stocks, SSK, and then AEG at the bottom. This is, it's currently percentage move regular, so this is its share price. So we see Murray & Roberts is trading at with the highest price. We see Trellidor, Stefanodian Stocks, AEG, and we can see both Stefanodian Stocks and AEG flatlining share price, which is never a good idea, or it's never a good sign. High highs, like Murray & Roberts, high highs, high lows, is a much better indicator of a stock that is rising, although we're seeing a bit of flatlining here in Murray & Roberts over the last, when's that, since May, so that is not a good sign, but these are good signs, these high highs, high lows, we see it rising. Trellidor, also you can see a lot of flatlining. Murray & Roberts up until now we're seeing highs, high lows, high lows. I mean, obviously here's 2020, the start of 2020 with the lockdowns crashing and then rising. These don't really change much because really they were pretty undervalued as it was. Let's just zoom in a little bit. I mean, so now we look at over the last year. And again, the share price of AEG really has not risen much at all. Whereas these other ones we can see, even Stefanodian Stocks, we can see a bit of a bump, but a flat line. And so straight off I would say, I don't know if I would. I'm not too sure about this stock. But let's just change it for a second and look at the percentage movement. Now, if we look at the percentage move of AEG over the last few months, we see a stock that has grown in percentage a lot, percentage-wise. There has been a greater growth than the others. And that's one good sign. Sorry, these candlesticks are looking a little bit odd, but that's what these are, these candlesticks here. That's AEG, and then the dark orange is Trellidor, light, that yellow is Murray & Roberts, and the blue is SSK. So we see over the last year, so let's do the last year, 2020 to 22, around the last year and a half, AEG has performed the best percentage-wise, and then SSK, Trellidor, Murray & Roberts. And that's the last year. Here we're seeing, when's it, September to September. Murray & Roberts has performed really well. We see those high highs, low lows, high highs, low lows, growth in percentage. And here we're seeing this. So, still unsure. Let's just take a look at some of the fundamentals of AEG. So I've explained what sector it operates in. That's an important thing to consider. This sector is not part of the megatrends. It's not part of the megatrends. So it's not carrying that headwind, that tailwind, which is already a negative sign. The volume has been fairly high over the last short period. This is the 10-day volume. Not too sure what this volume is. So we see people have been quite active, and we can see that these guys here. Let's just remove Murray & Roberts, SSK, Trellidor. So here we're seeing the volume. So we see a great increase in volume here, which could mean that the stock is ready for a bear move. The price to earning ratio is really small, so that's a good sign. And if we look at Murray and Roberts' price to earning ratio, they don't even have one at the moment. And then Stephanie stocks also don't have one. Not a good sign. If we just look at the price to earning ratio, the industry, it's 5. Investing.com is saying that AEG is currently sitting at 12, whereas TradeView says it's looking at 2.42. I'd have to do the calculation myself, but let's just put it somewhere in the middle. So the PE ratio is sitting somewhat above, I would say, or yeah, it'd be sitting somewhat, or perhaps it's roughly the same as the industry, so that's not bad. Price to sales, it's really small, that's good. Price to book, it's under 2, it's a good sign. So fundamentally speaking, AEG is currently in a fairly healthy state. You can see gross margin is in the positive. We see its EPS is really small. That's not a good sign. We see revenue per share a little bit too small. And then if we just shoot down and we take a look at its return on equity, its current one is in the positive, and its current return on assets is also in the positive. Its current return on equity is in the negative. Sorry, its 5-year return on equity is in the negative, but we expected that. So AEG currently, fundamentally speaking, looks to be in a fairly healthy situation. Is this a stock worth investing in? You'll have to make up that for yourself. I would say, personally, I would probably give it a hold symbol. For myself, obviously, you need to make up this decision for yourself, because I do see some positives in its fundamental nature or state, but technically speaking, it's not looking good. And when I look at the construction industry in Southern Africa, I do not get a good sign. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much and have a fantastic day.